Hi, you have tuned into the Raging Aggron channel, and I'm your host, Djingis, and I'm here with a draft recap from a new league that I've joined, and it's for a completely new team as well. I have joined the TBL, that is the minor league of the ABL that I was in previously. The reason I joined here was partly because I wanted to test out some new mons, and I wanted to do that versus a lower... how should I say that? Not lower league, but I mean less threatening opponents like I have in ABL and PSL. So I just wanted to test out some stuff and see how well I did with them. I've decided to do some stupid things, you might think, in retrospect, but it is what it is. The draft was for the TBL. It's a very small draft. We're only 8 teams in the league, and all teams just draft 8 mons. And then you choose one C captain for those. You choose one C captain as well from these 8 mons that you have drafted. So with only 8 teams and only 8 drafted mons per team, that means you have a lot of Pokemon that you can draft most of the time, and it's really easy to actually draft a good team. I really like the team that I drafted. But we'll go through the teams one at a time, so the teams draft one at a time. I will start out with the first pick I had, so I was 5th, kind of in the middle, and 2 picks before me, someone drafted the first pick that I wanted. First off, I wanted to get the Landorus Therian. It's a Pokemon that I never really used, and don't really like to use it, but I decided to try and test it out in the league. In this league, since it's lower level opponents, at least in my opinion, but I mean, I don't think I'll make playoffs because the other teams are very stacked compared to mine. But I got a bit of everything, so I feel like I can do well. So first out, I was like, okay, I got sniped on Landorus Therian, I got good backups that you will see later on. Yeah, so it's not the worst thing in the world. So I decided to go up with Tapu Koko, that was still left on board. So I went with Tapu Koko, ACDC, our Tapu Koko. This is the first mon to the new team, and I forgot to mention what the new team is, but you've most likely already seen it in the intro. The new team is Stockholm Slakings, and it's supposed to be a bit of more of a, not meme team, but it won't be the central team on this channel. The first team will always be Colorado Agrons, and then I will use Stockholm Slakings whenever I want to mix things up, as I decided to do here for TBL, and I will also use the Stockholm Slakings in ABL Season 3. Spoiler alert, yes, I'm part of that as well. So ACDC Tapu Koko, we all know what Tapu Koko does. It says up Electric Surge and click Thunderbolt, Thunderbolt Switch. Then you have Dazzling Gleam as well. It's a great C user. This is my C user, of course. Tapu Koko can do a lot of things. You can most times you run it especially offensive thanks to the Electric Surge and the great special move pool. But here as stats, it actually has a way higher attack than special attack. But it doesn't have the best physically offensive moveset. Like, you could do kind of funky things with flying type moves in this thing, and you can actually do a lot of things. It gets defog as well now, which is really good, in my opinion. So out of the get-go, I get the fire type, electric type, and a defogger, and I get the mon with a very good move pool as well. So I really like this pick to get off as first. I get both U-turn and Volt Switch. I get Taunt. I can do lots of good things with this thing, in my opinion. So yeah, that's really it, in my opinion. I've never used Tapu Koko in the league before, so I really like the opportunity to pick it up and test it out for real. So Tapu Koko is our first mon. Really good mon, in my opinion. It should always go in the first 5 picks in the draft. Then I waited 3 picks and 6 picks in total, and I saw that some teams already started to get a very offensive core, and I decided, okay, if I have Tapu Koko, I need to get very good bulky type to support it, and the first thing that popped into my mind was Milotic. So I decided to grab Milotic, Lacuna Coil, our Milotic. And most of the time you'll see it with Marvel Scale, because the Flame Orb on Marvel Scale, it's so good on this thing. It eats hits from all types of Pokemons. Even super effective electric type moves, maybe not in electric terrain, I need to look out for that. But Milotic is like one of the few things that can actually take care of my Mega that you will see later on. Milotic is a very, very good Pokemon. You can do a lot of things. You can actually coil up with it, and I might do that sometime. And just get the defense boosted once more if I decide to run a bit more specially defensive. I get the Hazer, I get the Phaser as well with Dragon Tail. I get a lot of good moves on both sides. I get both physical and special moves. So this is a very, very hard mon to tear down as well, because you get Recover, and it's very, very bulky. You can always Scald Burn the opponent, get even bulky on the physical side. You can Toxic, you can just do a lot of things that allows you to wear down the opponent. Magic Coat is a very, very good move as well to have on any team. I think I got more than one with it, but I got Milotic at least. I also got the light screen on this thing, which is very, very good to have in case you ever decide to do that. If you go down to the usually useless moves, you'll find some pretty interesting moves there as well that you might be able to use. Moves like Dragon Breath is always good to have. Disarming Voice is maybe not the best fire type move, but it's still a pretty good move to have. Hail could be kind of useful in some situations. Icy Wind is a very good move. Of course, I do get Ice Beam, so I won't really use that. Iron Tail could be very, very useful. Mirror Coat is the move that is most useful of these things here, and I can also use Psych Up. So I can copy a lot of things. I also get Hypnosis, but if you don't know what Psych Up allows you to do, it actually allows you to copy the target's stat stages changes. So if you face, let's say, a Calm Mind Suicune and you can't break it down, well, just click Psych Up and you're at the same amount of boost as it is itself. And then you can actually start doing things towards it. Maybe not the most things, but you can actually start to threaten it to the opponent, like where you have to threaten it out. That the opponent can't continuously click Scald upon you or Ice Beam, which is a Crocoon, and you can actually phase it out because you will PP stall it with this thing, thanks to Psych Up. Safeguard is also a pretty good move to have on teams because it allows you to take status moves very, very easy. But that's about it. Whirlpool is also pretty niche move to have on any team. You never know when it will become useful. So as you know, Milotic is mostly, it's a mixed defensive wall. Most of the time you can do a lot of things with it as well. It has a pretty decent special attack and a pretty good move pool as well, in my opinion. So this was turn 2. Now I had 8 picks before it was my turn, and I saw that now a lot of teams had started to see a trend of the teams that was drafting, that most of them wanted to get the offensive mons first. So that's why I decided to get rid of Milotic, because I really needed Milotic on my team. I really wanted it, because it paired up very, very well with the rest of my team that I thought of drafting. So I went with Milotic, and then I started to see that, okay, if they start to draft physically offensive mons now, I think it's best that I actually take my physical offensive mons that I really want. So next up is In Flames, the Darmanitan, which Air Force most of the times at least. I don't think I ever ran Zen mode a single time. Maybe if I face Mega Venus because it was drafted by another team, but I don't think I will do that. Air Force is way too good to pass up for Zen mode. But yeah, Darmanitan, pretty good speed at base 95. Very, very good physical attack at base 140 with the Sheer Force, meaning that moves like Flare Blitz, not Earthquake, Flare Blitz, wow, I completely blank out here, but Flare Blitz, Flamethrower, Focus Punch was closely, it's not Focus Punch, but Focus Blast, Heat Wave, Power Punch in some instances, Rock Slide, Stone Edge. But most of the time Rock Slide is better than Stone Edge because of the Sheer Force boost. Superpower is very, very good, U-Turn is very, very good. So I mean, it has a very, very good move pool. It's not the most niche moves per se, but you do a lot of damage with those moves that it gets. And it's pretty good offensive moves, like Ground, Fire, Fighting, are very, very good spammable moves. So if you just put a Choice Band or Scarf on this thing, well, you will destroy most teams with this thing. It's like one of the few things that I can actually one-hit KO a Celesteela from full. So I really like to have Darmanitan on the team. I think it will fit in well. It's a pure fire type, so I get the water, fire, grass core going on. But But I decided that, okay, if I have Darmanitan, I need a better defogger than... I need a way better defogger than Tapu Koko. So in my next pick, I started thinking, I just continue to go with the bulk. So I went with the Rob Zombie with Gliscor. Gliscor might be shiny. I'm just gonna see, I don't remember shiny. No, it will not be the shiny, it will be the regular one. Poison Heal ability is so good, especially now that you can run Defog on it as well. It's very bulky, extremely bulky. The 4 times Ice weakness is not a big problem in my team, in my opinion, because I got mons that can eat it up pretty easy. So it fits in very well. It's also a Levitator that allows me to take ground moves very easy on this team. It also allows me to spam stab EQs and stab flying type moves upon my opponents, which most teams have a very big problem facing. It's also very bulky Pokemon thanks to Poison Heal, and if I have the Black Sludge, which I most likely will have, it will allow me to have a status absorber as well, because it will be poisoned already, and it will gain health from the poison. And it will have Roost, it gets SD, it has a very good physical offensive move pool. It gets Stealth Rocks as well, which is a very good thing to have on those types of bomb. And I can always switch this thing in after the Toxic. Toxic Orb has made it, well, after Black Sludge or Toxic Orb has made its effect. Because then I can just lose the item and go in and click Acrobat and spam base 1 of 10 physical offensive acrobatics from the stab with Stab Mon. I also get Baton Pass, which is pretty decent in my opinion. Knockoff is very good on this thing, of course. I also get Priority in Quick Attack. Will most likely not use it, but it's still there, and you also had the Sludge Bomb, which could be pretty useful if you face Tapu Bulu, or to get the U-turn and so forth. Tailwind could also be pretty useful. So you have a lot of opportunities with Gliscor to run. You can do a lot of things with it, and it's a good all-around Pokemon to have. So next up, I just want to get some overall good Pokemon that pairs up with every team. Like, you can never go wrong with drafting Porygon 2. Hatebreed. We all know what Porygon 2 does. If you don't know what it does, go and watch my previous draft leagues, especially PSL, where I used Porygon 2 pretty well in my opinion, and I decided to draft it again and make even better use of it. I really love Porygon 2. I will not go through anything of it, because we all know what it does. It has an Eviolite, you boost its special defense or physical defense, it sits there and eats hits and click moves right back to you and defeat you. Easy as that. But then I decided to, okay, time to click the big button. I got a pretty good offensive core in my opinion with Tapu Koko, Darmanitan, and Gliscor. So I decided that, okay, I got those 3, they're pretty good mons. They can be both in Tapu Koko's case, they can be both physical and specially offensive, but I got 2 physical offensive mons already, so I needed a fast mon, a very fast mon. So I don't have to rely on Tapu Koko to be my fastest, and also allows me to hit very hard. So I decided, and also, as you've seen, I've used the regular Gardevoir to a very good extent. One moment, guys. So yeah, my Mega Pokemon. So as you see, I've decided to have a pretty good, with Tapu Koko and Darmanitan, I have a pretty good offensive core, and the same. And you can also run Gliscor pretty offensive. Porygon 2 is also pretty offensive with a good special attack stat, and same with Melodix. I don't have the worst offensive pressure. I have pretty good defensive pressure as well on teams. But then I decided to, okay, it's time to press the big button. I need a fast offensive Psychic type, and I need a Mega. And I have had pretty good usage of offensive Megas in the past, like Mega Lopunny. It was very good Pokemon for me, and I also used Gardevoir to a very good extent. So I decided to mix them two, and what you get when you mix those two, you get Mega Alakazam. Base 150 speed, base 155, base 150 speed and base 175 special attack with a great move pool, just like normal Alakazam with Calm Mind as well. Encore, Energy Ball, Focus Blast, Foul Play as well. Knockoff, Magikarp, Light Screen, Psycho Cut. Like, you can do a lot of things. I don't know why I'm rambling up physically offensive moves when it's a special attacker, but we'll know what it does. It's a great Pokemon. not the best defensive Pokemon, but it can be pretty useful. And you can always go like, as you can see, it gets Curse and it gets Barrier. You can also do a lot of those things to give it a bit more usage. And of course, Future Sight is a great move to have on any Psychic type, and especially in League, if the opponent doesn't have a Dark type. And I don't think too many teams have a Dark type in this draft. So this is just a good Pokemon overall. You can also boost its special attack with Calm Mind pretty easy. So you'll know what Dream Theater Alakazam can do, Mega Alakazam can do, so I really look forward to use it. But now I decided, okay, I got my Psychic type, I really want to test out one of the least used cores, in my opinion, Psychic Ghost Dark. And I needed a Grass type for my Fire Water Grass core, so you might see, okay, here we drafted Gourgeist again, yay! No. I'm tired of using Gourgeist. But I'm tired of using Gourgeist. I will most likely just use the one that I drafted now, because I also needed a Steel Stab, and then it's only one Pokemon that fulfills all of those 3 criteria. That is Dhelmise. Ailstorm the Dhelmise. Steelworker has its ability, which means that it has Steel Stab moves as well. Very bulky Pokemon. Good grass, good dual type, very good AV user, has a very good physical attack, great Trick Room user as well, and I have 2 Trick Room setters in Porygon and Mega Alakazam, and I also have a pretty good usage of mons that can actually use a Trick Room to its advantage, like Milotic, like Porygon 2, like Dhelmise, and last pick that you will see later on. It has a pretty good move pool as well. You can do a lot of things with this thing, and I really like it. The Gyro Ball is very, very good to have on this thing. Knockoff is very, very good. Anchor Shot is also very good. Shadow Claw makes a lot of sense. So yeah, I really like this pick overall. It's a very, very good Pokemon. Swords Dance will just make it so annoying to deal with as well. You can do a lot of things with it, so you don't be surprised if you see this in a more offensive role than defensive role, but I can do a lot of things with this thing, based off the rest of my team composition. But to see it out, I noticed that a lot of Fairy types was drafted, and I needed a Poison type, and also needed a Dark type for my team. There are only 2 Poison Dark types free actually, but I won't draft Skuntank, and Drapion I've never tried to use. I want to try it. I really like Drapion. It's one of my favorite Pokemon design-wise. But I decided to go with a Pokemon that also benefits a lot from Trick Room, and that is Alolan Muck. Alice Cooper Alolan Muck with Gluttony and Trick Room is so good. You also get the Poison Touch, which is also good. We all know what this thing does. It sits there, eats it, and click, Gunk Shot, Crunch, Recycle, Explosion, Knock Off. You can even Rock Polish if you really want to, if you wanted to make it fast. You also get the Shadow Sneak. So you can do a lot of things with this thing, and that's... I said that like in 4 or 5 months in there in a row now. But I mean, this is a very, very good Pokemon to have, because you never know when it will have usage of it. It's just a Pokemon that overall is very, very good to have. So this is the team we have, guys. This is the Stockholm Slakings team in the TBL. And of course, I think that I will go to playoffs because of my experience, and that I actually rank myself as better than most in the league. But looking at my team, I will have a hard time, and I did that. I actually did that with purpose, because I really wanted to have a challenge. But this is good. This is a good 8 months to use. There's also a good amount of great Pokemon that I can pick up and change the team if I have to. But I feel pretty content with this team. I really like it. And yeah, I don't really have anything else to say. If you have any questions about the team, put them in the comment section. And I will see you next time.